Thank you for inviting me to the conference. My name is So Young Yoo, who is working as a specialist in biomedical law and ethics. The topics to consider today are legal and ethical issues on GAN. First of all, legal concerns. There are many standards in each country related to privacy, but today we are going to look at personal information with the GDPR, which is affecting many countries. According to GDPR, Article 4, personal data means any information relating to unidentified or identified natural person. Any information at this time includes the medical data and the medical images. In principle, using personal data requires obtain consent. At this time, consent means any free given specific informed identification of a personal subject wishes. If you process someone's data based on their consent, the GDPR clearly expresses the obligations you must meet. The GDPR is provide an exception to the purpose-limited principle for data processing for scientific or historical research purpose or statistical purpose. However, Article 989(1) requires controllers that process data for their purpose to implement appropriate safeguard in accordance with this regulation for the rights and freedoms of data subject. Pseudonymization is an important safeguard for processing personal data for scientific research purpose. However, because consent is based on specific consent, it cannot be used or shared with any purpose other than the specific purpose for which such consent have been obtained. Meanwhile, pseudonymization is regulated by GDPR because it does not require the consent but still belongs to the personal data. The effort to protect personal data, therefore specified in GDPR, is still to be continued. Also, the data, such as name, identified number, are distinctly would defer the data sharing, but images of face in the MRI cases can limit access. A recent paper published in NEJM impressive. The research team considered the possibility that participants in a clinical trial or study may have de-identified the MRI data in a publicly shared research database, and someone may seek to identify them by using face recognition software to compare the reconstructed images of the face from a criminal MRI with the photographs from social media or other sources to determine whether face recognition software could identify individual persons from reconstructed facial images contained in cranial MRI scans. They recruited 49 volunteers between the age of 34 and 89 years. Each participant had undergone MRI of the head. The research team tested publicly available automated face recognition software, which attempts to match photographs of a face to a user-defined set of possible faces. In result, for 70 of the 84 participants, the software chose the correct MRI scan as the most likely match for their photos. The current standard of removing only metadata in medical images may be insufficient to prevent re-identification of participants in research. In other words, legal issues around unconsented subject data and privacy is still one of the limiting factors in data sharing, resulting in a significant barriers in accessing routinely collected electronic health record. On the other hand, we need to have a real data set for research and development purpose. At the same time, the data set must be easily accessible to support open data sharing and must be legally adequate for this purpose. In this respect, GAN is being proposed that can generate anonymous potential infinite image data set based on a limited database. But there are ethical issues that we need to consider. By presenting ethical standards separating from binding laws and guidelines, it respects research autonomy, encourages technological development, and lays the foundation for flexibility responding to technological and social changes. Therefore, several global countries have developed guidelines regarding artificial intelligence ethical principles as follows. AI ethical principles include accountability principles, transparency, fairness, and professional responses. In the community that study and develop GAN, we believe that it is necessary to set the stage for checking and discussing whether newly developed technologies such as GAN comply with those ethical principles. This is because ethical standards provide a direction for us to move forward, even if the related to the regulations are uncertain, or if the system cannot keep up with the rapid technological development. This is the reference that are referred to in the presentation today, and I do not have any conflict of interest. Thank you for your attention. Thanks.